All right, everyone. Welcome to the Stop the Sabotage webinar. I really appreciate all of you taking the time to join us. I know there's all kinds of other things you could be doing, such as children, uh, eating, building your business, all kinds of other stuff. And I really appreciate you for that. And I want to acknowledge you for that because a lot of people find all kinds of reasons not to attend trainings like this. And there's a never ending supply of reasons not to attend anything, not just webinars like this, but not to go to your unit meetings, not to attend seminar, career conference, leadership, what have you. And so just the fact that you are not one of the people that are looking for reasons not to do something, and instead you're one of the people searching for reasons to build your business, to work on yourself, etc., means to me that you are the cream of the cream of the cream of the crop. And I acknowledge you for that. And I want you to acknowledge and appreciate yourself for that as well. My name is Sean Smith. That is a picture of me. It's actually a caricature of me on the right-hand side there. And today in this webinar, we're going to be talking about stop the sabotage. Sabotage is something that almost everybody deals with in all walks of life. Today, we're going to be talking about it specifically as it relates to your Mary Kay business. None of these concepts are Mary Kay specific, but we're going to talk about the application of them in your Mary Kay business simply because that's who you all are, and that's one of the vehicles you've chosen to better your life. And that's why all of these examples will be Mary Kay examples. None of them are intended to shine any kind of negative light on Mary Kay, the company, or anybody in Mary Kay, or any training that you've ever gotten in Mary Kay. We're only using applications in the form of examples in your Mary Kay business. So we're going to talk about how to identify, clarify, and get rid of the internal fears that are actually creating the sabotaging patterns. They're all going to be related to the internal conflicts that you have, specifically limiting beliefs. We're going to dive deep into limiting beliefs. And this training is going to be a little bit deeper than maybe some of you've heard in the past from me or in other areas of training, whether it's in Mary Kay or outside of Mary Kay. We're not just going to be talking about behaviors, but we're going to go down deeper into the seeds that eventually grow into the sabotage. And I want to help you get rid of the actual conflicts so that you're not just wrestling with the surface level challenges. So my purpose today is to spend the next hour or so with you. I want to teach you everything that I can about what I've learned to be true about success and achievement, specifically in my experience in more than a decade working with thousands and thousands of Mary Kay directors, nationals, and consultants. What we're going to talk about and dive into specifically is why people actually sabotage themselves, how to identify the problems instead of just the symptoms, how to erase the cause of your perfectionism, procrastination, internal fears. We're going to talk about the fear of rejection, fear of failure, as well as the fear of success, and a couple specific applications of the fear of success, which I think are going to be intriguing to you, specifically how many of you are afraid of climbing towards success now, and also many of you are afraid of hearing a yes in your Mary Kay business. So I want to get jumping into the actual, or I want to get going into the actual problems that you have. But let me set some expectations for this webinar. As I said, we're going to be going around an hour, maybe a little bit more. There are a lot of people on the webinar. I'm not going to be checking the questions as I go. And if I do see questions coming in, I may stop and address them as I see them. But I ask and suggest that you don't take down notes of information, meaning what I have on my slides. You can capture these slides later in the recording. What I want you to do is take notes of your inspiration. What are the things that you are inspired to do based on the stuff that I say? So you can always find the information on my slides later, but you can't capture the inspiration that you have based on my slides unless you take them down now. I want you to stick around to the end of the presentation. I'll let you know how to go deeper and how to get access to those slides. And if you are the social media type, please share your ahas on our fan page at facebook.com/Pink Caddy Coach. You can tag me so that I or my team can respond to you and celebrate your success and your ahas, etc. Let's start by seeing if you're even in the right place. You are in the right place if you have internal challenges, meaning doubts, fears, limiting beliefs, any of that negative head talk that is affecting your life and your business. And if you have those things, well, that just means that you are human and your brain is functioning properly. So I don't want you to get concerned about that. I want you to get excited about that. But you don't want those issues to get in the way of your success any longer. Just because you have them doesn't mean that you need to be a victim of them. And you've also got to be serious about your success. You are serious enough to be on this training, obviously, but you've got to be willing to take action towards your dreams. I don't want you to just be the kind of person that collects information intellectually and thinks that that intellectual knowledge is going to take you anywhere. Nobody's ever thought their way to their goals and dreams or achieving anything significant. You've got to take action. And so the main question is, are you interested in your success or are you committed to your success? Now, you're in the wrong place if you're basically the opposite of what we just said. If you're looking for the magic bullet, I don't have that. I've never found one of those. I don't teach any of that stuff because I don't believe in it. If you're looking for a shortcut to success, go somewhere else. I don't think there is a shortcut to success. I will never teach that. If you're not willing to work hard, if you're not willing to challenge yourself, if you're not willing to really go for your dreams. I mean, we're talking about your life. If you're not willing to actually dive in, then I just don't think that you're going to take any or you're going to achieve any amount of significant progress because life requires effort and hard work. Now, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to suffer, right? We're going to talk about how to remove some of the emotional suffering, but we're also talking about building a dream here. So if you don't understand that dreams require effort and sustained work, then I don't think I can help you. And you're also in the wrong place if you're looking for anybody to sugarcoat the issues. If you've been in my community, listened to any of my webinars, read any of my emails, especially some of the more recent ones, I don't sugarcoat stuff. I just, I respect your time a lot more than that. So as I said earlier, none of this is meant to shed any negative light on Mary Kay. I absolutely love this company. Some of the things that I love about Mary Kay are, number one, the products make people feel fantastic. I every day use some of the Mary Kay products, and I've had some fantastic transformations myself. I also love the company's mission to enrich women's lives. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of women have had their lives fundamentally changed. I suspect all of you have, otherwise you wouldn't be on this webinar. You wouldn't still be in the company, and you certainly wouldn't be chasing any new thoughts like a training like this in order to continue to grow if you hadn't had your life enriched on some level. And deeper than that, what I love is the personal development opportunity that it has in store for you. Mary Kay has this special way of bringing you face to face with all of your challenges, all of your doubts, all of your fears, all of your questions about whether you can do this. And that's simply an opportunity for you to grow. And I actually love that more than anything else about this company is the personal development invitation you have. And a lot of people just won't take that invitation. They're going to continue to try to avoid all the things that are required in order to help them grow as a person. And I highly, highly suggest that you don't avoid those invitations, that you run toward them actually. And what I love about you specifically, not just the company, but you specifically, is that you're willing to invest time and energy and money, which is also time and energy, in yourself because you understand that you are your most valuable asset in your business. And you must be committed to taking action. Obviously, I already talked about that. You've got to be ready for something bigger in your life and in your business. And that can only come from inside of you. So here's the truth. You're not in the Mary Kay business. You're not in the skincare business. You're not in the cosmetics business. You're not in the beauty business. You're not in the image business. You're not in any of those things. You're in the people business. And more than that, you are your business. That's why you are your most valuable asset. That's why the energy, the time, and the money that you invest in yourself is the wisest investment, because at the core of your success will be you, will be your internal makeup, not your skill set, not how many scripts you can memorize. It's you. It's your ability and willingness to get back up when you fall down. It's your courage. It's your determination. It's your discipline. It's all of those things that are internal to you. That's what will determine your success. And I know for the most part, I'm preaching to the choir, but we have to lay that foundation for everything that we are about to get into. So here's the reality about what's possible when we take a look at sabotage. It's absolutely possible to clear away your biggest internal blocks, not just cope with them. I'm not in the coping business. I don't think you're in the coping business. I don't know of anybody who, when they were little, said, you know what, I just want to cope with my biggest challenges and I want to cope with my fears when I become an adult. Nobody wants to do that. We all want to live a life of freedom, a life of success, the highest levels. And you can't do that if you're just carrying around all of this baggage, coping with the challenges that you have. Now, this change can absolutely be made. Some people don't believe it can happen in the first place, or if they do believe it can happen, they think it's going to take years and years and years. But the reality is, it can happen quickly as long as you have the right mindset. And once you get rid of these internal behaviors and the actual challenges around your sabotage, then the success will follow in your business. But you must take action, and this has to be an inside out process if it's going to be long term and if it's going to be sustainable. You can make some of the outside in changes, or just some of the outside changes where you focus on some of the things that are more surface level, and you look at some of your skill sets and you memorize some of the scripts. All that stuff is okay. It can make small shifts, but it can never make big shifts, and it can never really generate long-term success because it can't change the foundation, right? But when you shift your foundation and you clear some of these internal challenges, it's amazing what can happen. And I just want to share some of those with you before we get into the actual meat here. Antonella is a director from New York, and she said once she got rid of her perfectionism, her income tripled immediately. So ask yourself if you would be okay with your income tripling immediately, if you can budget that. And we also have Koti from Texas. She did some of this internal work as well, and just making some of the foundational shifts. She brought in over 80 team members in 1 month and over $28,000 in production in a single month. And what she says, though, is that what she's more excited about and happy with is the shifts that she had in her family, the relationship with her husband, the relationship with her children, and that she's found balance in her life. And I love this last part. Oh, yeah, by the way, I got into my Cadillac. When you make these internal shifts, the tangible success you can create in your life, and specifically in Mary Kay, is like an, oh, by the way, I also generated all this money. I also got into the Cadillac. I also became a director. And when your tangible results are a byproduct of the intangible internal shifts, that's when life becomes amazing. That's when the lights get brighter, so to speak. That's when the colors become more vibrant. That's when it becomes fulfilling. But here's the reality: most consultants, most directors don't have the business that they signed up for. And I'm not trying to burst any bubbles, but that's the reality. And most of them are chasing the wrong problems at the surface. They're constantly searching for some of the skill set stuff, the recruiting scripts, the hostess programs, the time management systems, the tracking forms, how to handle objections, the secrets of motivating other people, the rules of leadership, etc. Those are all surface level stuff. And what happens when you focus on all the surface level stuff, it leads to more challenges. It leads to frustration. It actually leads to more overwhelm. It leads to more doubt, more anxiety. It leads to more stress. It leads to lower self-esteem. It increases financial worries, strained relationships, disappointment. It actually increases the problems. And obviously, it doesn't have to be that way. It's not Mary Kay Ash's vision for what this company is. As I said earlier, it's not a Mary Kay problem. This is a universal human behavior problem. But the reality is, this is what most people are experiencing.